We are live. Yes, y'all. What's going on? I'm here. It's your boy D Mays for Mind Games Uncut podcast. I got the air out. I got the air going, but cut the fan off 'cause I want y'all to hear me good. One thing about these studios, you got to have the fans off. The air kind of circulating. And we still working on the new cameras, man. I've been so busy doing other stuff. Hit the like button, y'all. Listen, share this live, y'all. Listen, this right here of all my podcasts, I'm taking this to heart. So I need all of y'all. What's up, Captain B? Listen, I'm giving everybody time to share it on all your platforms from Instagram, Facebook, Pornhub, OnlyFans, TikTok. I'm gonna do TikTok after I leave here, but fan base. I'm gonna do fan base later on, probably tomorrow. Replay it. Yeah, I got the preacher at. What's up, Brothers Tradition? This is the breakdown, y'all. It's a 1 year anniversary. Shout out to everybody who was involved with the project, Broken Tradition. Shout out to Captain B, one of the what is it? Executive producers. Yeah, because they gave money to the project, and we're gonna do a part 2, y'all. And boy, it's gonna be deep as hell. So we're gonna do the breakdown, y'all. We're gonna play a little bit of it, the audio, and we're gonna break it down. I've been trying to wait for a minute, but we here, man. This is my mom's birthday. Rest in peace to my mom. Energy never dies. Y'all know what it is. I don't get caught up in death like most people. So I said we're gonna break it out April 28th on her birthday. I did it last year, 2024. I did, but she died before that. But yeah, that's how we doing it. Yeah, appreciate that, Captain B. Yeah, man. Stream this to all y'all. The Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Spotify, OnlyFans, Pornhub, all that good stuff. Let me get this. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this thing going. Okay, here we go. We're doing like that. Man, it is. Yeah, appreciate that, Captain B. But yeah, man, my mom's birthday today. Shout out to my mom. And yeah, we're gonna break it down, y'all. So y'all seen everybody. I know everybody here on seen it, and we most definitely gonna go in. Even it's crazy. Like people, I could tell. YouTube kind of suppressed the people from watching it, the algorithms and stuff. That's cool though, because people had told me they watched it, they like it, and we're gonna keep on reloading till people get it. I'm talking to some other people trying to get on other platforms, so that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's only 27 minutes, but hey, next the one we're gonna do next year gonna probably go like maybe 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I'm saying? All depends. I'm gonna have more people talking than having other footage and stuff like that. And yeah, man. So let's get right into it because I was celebrating earlier. And yeah, man, appreciate everybody who contributed to the project. Shout out, like I said, shout out to the UAA, shout out to Broken Tradition, shout out to Growth Talk, shout out to my homegirl. Oh man, God, I can't get it. Oh damn, man, I can't believe I got myself. Hold on, y'all, because there's too many people. Hold on. Let me go to my girl real quick. Hold on, I gotta get her a shout out. I told her to come on tonight. Hold on, y'all, just for a second. Hey, I know I got it. I don't know why I keep getting it. McCathy. Hold on. Got the sweat rag. Oh, y'all. And with my sister name, God, Kimberly McCants. Kimberly McCants, she dropping jewels on there along with Broken Traditions and Grove Talk. So anyway, y'all, let's get right into it. Let's I'm gonna do about 30 minutes of this thing. And we're gonna go right into it. Okay, hold on. All right, let's go. Here we go. We control you. Let me know if y'all can hear it, y'all. Kimberly McCants. Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Social media, one of the biggest
Can y'all
things
hear
they
it?
ever came up with. Social media. Look at people. We are slaves to technology. We be on our phones 80% of the time. When we at home with our families, when we out at work, even when we driving our cars. You know how back in the days, I grew up when we used to have dinner. Everybody sit at the dinner table, right? We talk about our day, how everything was going. Now everybody's on their phones. What's up with that, y'all? Why are people so locked in into social media? Why? What is it? How did they come up with this thing? People, listen, look at them. They're like zombies. It's amazing.
The best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the web within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth. Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst.
So I pulled this up. Check this out, y'all. Why do most people not think for themselves? That's what they say. People don't think for themselves because it is difficult. It is probably one of the most difficult things to do. One has to be totally honest with themselves, to step outside themselves, to view their own thoughts from an impartial standpoint, and to see others' view openly. That's pretty deep. You know what I'm saying? That's real deep.
And we'll stop right there real quick. So here's the thing, man. And what the girl was saying, like, and from going from the beginning, why are people so, you know what? I want to say this, y'all. I believe before even, I would say after MySpace, right? You had other platforms. MySpace was kind of big. But when Facebook came out, they had to do some kind of simulation. I guarantee you. Cause I heard that he was just doing it to connect with friends and friends in college and stuff like that. That's what they say. But y'all know, y'all heard about him. Mark Zuckerberg was actually working for the CIA. Never had his MySpace. Yeah, and I had MySpace for a second, but it was all right. But I'm just saying that was like the introduction to the whole social media world, I believe, because that was like one of the biggest platforms. But when Facebook came out, they knew it. Listen. When Facebook came out, it was like crack. Let's be honest, y'all. It was like crack. It took off big. And remember, Peter Thiel put the money behind. Y'all heard of Peter Thiel? Look him up. He's the guy. He put money behind Facebook. He put money behind PayPal. Even though Elon Musk is a billionaire, multi-billionaire, Peter Thiel is the guy. He's from Germany. See, it's always somebody behind the person that you see on TV. You know what I'm saying? Peter Thiel is the guy. He put money behind Trump. He put money behind a lot of stuff. Look up Peter Thiel. He the one. See what he do? He get people like Mark Zuckerberg and these young white boys. Well, he's Jewish, but still young white boys, Jewish boys, and he put money behind their projects like Facebook. So Facebook will push. It was to pretty much have people on social media talking about their everyday lives and what's going on in the world, and it works. People are on their phones. Listen, this is what people do. They like this, y'all. They like this all day. Like even I do it. Y'all do it. Everybody like this on their phone. If you go on the trains, you see it. You see people in their cars. It's funny. Listen, let me tell you what's scary. This is what's scary, y'all. We don't really talk about this. I do it. Y'all do it. I don't drive on the highway. I might be on my phone for like 2 minutes, 2 damn minutes, and I'm driving and I'm on the phone because we are programmed to these devices, y'all. We are linked into these devices, and our brains still operate to drive cars or whatever. That's crazy. Crazy. Let's continue.
Very, very deep. And then, here we go. How do humans, and we got another one. Is everyone just thinking about themselves? Other people are likely thinking the same thing you, but about themselves. Because most people don't care. Most people only care about their well-being. That's something to think about, y'all.
Skull technology. This is also in the foray of directed imagery.
Now, listen to this right here. I think this is one of the most important. Well, everything was important on this documentary, but listen to what this guy's saying right here. This is deep.
Weapons. What is that? the ability to, let's just say, throw your voice into your head or my voice into my head, or allowing algorithms that now they can blanket a whole geographical area and they can make everybody change their thoughts. They can, I use the term intrusive thoughts. Back to that fork in the road analogy. If you find yourself where you have to make a decision about something, next thing you know, you catch yourself kind of having an argument in your head with your own voices. Well, the ability to add another one of your voices in there, but have it controlled by somebody else's microphone, so to say, is a very powerful tool. And I think this is a weapon of war that we are seeing happen to everyone around us. The Department of Defense recently started initiating protocols for their employees, their agents, to discuss Havana syndrome like symptoms.
Y'all hear good?
And on that list is that their agents are hearing voices in their head. And this is what they're getting at. This is that technology that, you know, next thing you know, you're trying to make a decision, but there's another Sean in your head that now is actually somebody else's control. And through the manipulation of that voice, they can now push you, just like we have, you know, the cell phones are weaponized now, the social media platforms, and they can engage with an algorithm, and they know that they can push you in a direction by repetitive information being displayed in front of you, similar to the Takistoscope in grammar school, that they can learn your system and they can learn to manipulate it on a personalized level by just assessing you, what the things are that you're interested in, what are your weak points, what's the crack in the dam, what's the angle of attack. And it's through repetition and access. These are simply electromagnetic impulses in your head. It's not that they can't be read. It's not that they can't be copied. And it's not that they can't be just replayed with somebody else's control. I mean, I could get a voice changing thing and I could sound like you if I wanted to. I could call you on the phone. I could call your loved ones and I could pretend I'm Sean. And they can do that for you in your own head.
That's deep. Hey, real talk. So have y'all heard of MK Ultra? Have y'all heard of MK Ultra? One for yes, two for no. Have y'all heard of MK Ultra? I'm just curious. Put it in the chat. One for yes, two for no. And make sure y'all share this live, y'all. Have y'all heard of MK Ultra? Okay, good. So y'all know that's pretty much they can manipulate your brain, make you do things. It's a Manchurian candidate. It was made way back. Then they remade it again, I think twice. They made one with Denzel Washington, Anthony Mackie. What's the other guy? I forgot the white guy name. That was a real good movie. And they pretty much made these guys kill themselves and other things they did. You know what I'm saying? Assassination plots and stuff like that. I really believe they can do that. I believe in MK Ultra. Listen, y'all, listen. I mean, it's so much. We can't talk about all this in one video, but think about it. If a lot of times I think they did it, is that still doing it? Check this out, man. You ever notice when you, like, for instance, the other day, you know, we do landscape, I got a landscaping business too. So me and my partner was talking about a certain equipment, right? We was on the phone talking about a certain equipment we need. Guess what? I get on Facebook maybe 10 minutes later, and the product we was talking about popped up a couple of times on Facebook. Have that ever happened to y'all? One for yes, two for no. Have that ever happened to y'all? Because I know it have, because they listen to every damn thing we saying. Facts. And listen, TED Talk had a video. This guy was talking about they can look into your muscles of your eye, and know what the hell you thinking. You might be addicted to porn. They'll shoot porn out on your damn on your computer or your phone. Yeah, because they watching y'all. They know what's up. This thing go deep, man.
Check out this data from 2024. How many people are addicted to social media? This is 2024. 4.8 billion people use social media, and 210 people suffer from social media addiction. Meaning 4 to 5% of users are addicted to social media worldwide. In the United States, around 30% of users think they are social media addicts. More than half, 54% of teens say it's hard to quit social media. Wow. The big distraction, sports. Listen, y'all, I love sports. I'm a homer all day. I enjoy watching it because it's entertainment. But some of y'all people, go bonkers. Y'all go crazy off of sports. It's only entertainment. People will literally fight over a sports team. People like in Philly, they was nut up over that. That don't make no sense to me.
And that means you can't rely on the media as it is today either.
Oh, of course not. All the media in this country, radio, television, and print, is all owned by 5 corporations. All of these corporations that own the media are owned and controlled, and members of the Council on Foreign Relations sit on their board of directors.
Can you name those 5 corporations? Is that
not off the top of my head?
Okay?
I could try, but I don't want to take a chance on being inaccurate. But you can trace that yourself.
Okay.
Remember, if you go down and you trace the ownership of a station or a newspaper, and you get to a corporation, remember that somebody owns that corporation, and it's usually another corporation. But when you trace the interlocking of all these things, when you get to the top, there's 5. And all journalists know that there's some things you don't write about and you don't talk about because you'll lose your job. And that's where the control is. And that's why they pay anchormen like Dan Rather $2 million a year, because he doesn't question them. He knows that if he goes against them, he's going to lose $2 million a year. Do you think a man that looks pretty and sits in front of the TV camera for the 6 o'clock news is worth $2 million a year? No way. I don't care how long he works, and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has a great chariot.
Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. Hold on, let me see all of y'all. Let me go. Oops. So yeah, what y'all think about that, man? Sports. I love sports. Listen, y'all. I'm a homer all day. I said it on the documentary. I'm a homer, but I know it's entertainment, y'all. It's entertainment. It's not real. I know people know everything about a certain athlete, and they know from the time they was born to the time they was in elementary school, high school, college. They know the percentage of that, every damn thing. They know more about that athlete than they know about themselves. Listen, y'all, it's entertainment. Sports is just like me and my girl got through watching Gladiator 2. Good movie. Denzel got effed up in there, but anyway. It's crazy, y'all, because probably know nothing about that exactly. And the crazy part about this whole thing, y'all, these NFL owners are making plenty of money every year. Listen, they got people locked in. And I tell y'all, I'm a Falcon fan all day. I'm a Braves fan all day. I'm a Hawks fan all day. I'm a UGA fan all day. But I know it's entertainment. I can walk away from that today. I wouldn't even care about it. Because it's entertainment. Once you separate it from entertainment to the real world, you good. Most people, they get mad. Their team lose. They don't go to the playoffs, don't go to the Super Bowl or to the championship. They lose their minds. People in Philly up there, like I said in the documentary, people in Philly fighting and shit. Crazy. You don't own no stake in the goddamn company, but you acting a damn fool. You cussing people out. You fighting them. Some people probably almost got unalive from this shit. For what? It's entertainment. Just like boxing. Listen, the only difference between wrestling and in the NFL and baseball and basketball is this. It's entertainment, but the wrestling is just more stage. To a certain degree, the NFL is staged to a certain degree. And don't think that a lot of these games haven't been paid off, y'all. We ain't gonna get into that. Let's continue. So here we go. We're going to the obesity part.
It's amazing in this country how people don't take their health serious. You know, it's like I talk to a lot of people all the time. I go to the gym at least 4 times out of the week. I applaud anybody that goes to the gym. I don't care if you 300-400 pounds or whatever. At least you're trying. In this country, we really don't push living a healthy lifestyle. We push more of celebrating eating fast foods and stuff like this, and that's why so many people in our community is sick, hypertension, being diabetics, high cholesterol, all that. And this is a problem in our country. And why do y'all think they never try to push you to eat healthy? They don't want you to eat healthy. They want you to be sick. You know why? Because being sick is profitable. They make money off of people being sick. The pharmaceuticals, all these corporations, y'all think about it.
Okay, so we're gonna get into that. So let's touch on that. Y'all know I'm a fitness coach. I seen it. I had a young guy that years ago, a couple years ago. He was 2000. He was my fault. 2012. A couple years ago, he was 212 pounds, y'all. The boy was 12 years old. Now granted, he did have a rare disease called the Willie-Potter syndrome. Willie-Potter syndrome. Look that up, man. Them the kids, they overweight, and they're the ones that they have to put chains on the refrigerator so they won't go and get food. They just constantly eating. They pretty much shit on themselves. Even the boys, they have a problem. Like they could never get married or pretty much not even have sex. I'm just keeping it real with you because they private parts of, is very, very immature. I leave it like that. But good kid. It was a very good kid, man. It was a struggle, but I'm just saying that I don't even want to use his case because he had a rare disease that caused him to gain weight. But I have seen so many of our kids recently, like now, overweight. You got too many kids, not just black, all these kids. You got America is worth when it comes to health. Obesity is at a high rate in this country and it's getting worse. And the thing is, nobody's not addressing it because listen, if you tell everybody in America to eat healthy, guess what's going to happen? The pharmaceuticals going to lose money because everybody trying to change their diet. They're working out. They stop eating fast food, processed foods, this sugar, all that crap. You know what I'm saying? We as a country need to get our shit together, y'all. Straight up. Real talk. Because I go to the grocery stores and I see it. Kids on them little buggies that ride, them buggies that made for the senior citizens and the people that's handicapped. You got kids riding because they overweight. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot look away from this. It's a problem in this country, and obesity is killing a lot of our citizens, especially in our community. Diabetes at a high rate. It took out half my family. Well, it took out my dad. Listen, my dad had 10 brothers and sisters. I only got one auntie living, y'all. I'm not saying diabetes took all of them out, but the majority of them, yes. Either if it ain't diabetes, it's hypertension, high cholesterol, heart disease, all that. And that's a problem. And it's a America problem. You feel me? Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's go to the next.
Is voting necessary? Yes. Did our people die for us to vote? Yes. It's a lot of black men, especially, that wore this uniform, that died for this country, that could not vote at the time they were fighting for this country or fighting for their freedom. So while I still believe in voting, I think that it's time to update, maybe do away with the two-party system. We need more options. And until that happens, there's going to be a lot of brothers like myself who are going to be registered voters, but finding different ways to protest. So I'm not going to blindly, as a black man, traditionally what we've done in the black community, I'm not going to blindly vote Democrat just because they're Democrats. I'm not going to vote for Republicans as a sign of protest. There was a period of time within this last election where I didn't vote at all. That was my sign of protest. Not saying that was right or wrong either way, but until we get some candidates or a party that actually speaks to our people and executes, not empty promises, not what do you have to lose, but actually bring something to us as a people. then a lot of people will be withholding their vote or voting a way that the rest of us don't agree with. But again, those are just my thoughts. It's just an opinion. I don't run nothing. I just wear the uniform. Again, it's plenty of brothers that came before me that have laid down their life that didn't even have that opportunity to vote. So while I plan on exercising my right to vote, I want something and someone to vote for.
Shout out to my man Kofa, Growth Talk. Make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Listen, man, he laid it down. And shout out to our brother because he served his country. You know what I'm saying? He's in the military still, I believe. And I did send him the link so he can watch the breakdown. And he's right, man. I mean, think about it. You got people like him that serve our country. Shout out to Kathy B. I think Kathy B, was your husband in the military? Yes or no? I think he was, right? Your husband, he's a veteran. I just want to make sure. Cause we got to shout out all our servicemen, you know what I'm saying, in this country. Hey, Captain B, was your husband in the military? I think he was. I just want to make sure. I want to get it right. I want to make sure I give him his props. Okay. Yo, he's a veteran. Okay. Shout out to him. And tell him we thank him for his service for our country. But yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, listen, y'all. We've been voting for decades. And I'm just talking about black people on this. Because I'm really trying to, me personally, I'm trying to get away from just, I'm looking at it as a human thing now. Look, racism exists straight up. I know this, y'all. But I think we as, that's another, I'm breaking down the documentary. So I'll talk about it another time. Yeah, no doubt, Captain B. But we're going to have to look at things a little different. Listen, this country don't respect most of our veterans or even the cats who are in the military and women. We've been voting for a long time. Let's talk about black people. Let's be real. Black people been voting over, well, we got the civil right over 60-something years. The civil rights bill will pass. Black people got a couple of nuggets. They got a couple little trinkets. Some things have moved, yes. I ain't gonna say haven't. Shout out to our ancestors. But since that, what have we got for voting? Nothing. Black people still at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm just waiting for somebody to come in here and prove me wrong. Because, you know, 1 or 2 or maybe 10, 20 or even 50, you save 100 black people you know doing good. It's over 40 million black people in America. And I guarantee you, out of 40 million black people, probably 38 million of them are struggling. We don't have no real power. We vote for the same candidates. We vote for the same party forever. And we haven't got anything out of it. And I don't want to rant too long, y'all, because I got to go to TikTok. Let's play this. Here we go.
Yeah, black folk been voting over 60 years, over 60-something years. And after all that, what have we really gained? Okay, after the civil rights movement, okay, that was an accomplishment. But after that, why do we stop demanding things? Having a black agenda, we don't have. You see these Black Lives Matter shirts? We'll say that for later, but yeah, black people, I'm not saying don't vote, but make sure you voting for something. Don't vote blue no matter who, because your parents, your grandparents did this all their lives. That's the problem in our community. We're the only group of people in this country vote with no type of agenda. But the tide is changing now, especially with the grassroots. The younger black voters, they see the light. The tide is changing, y'all. More and more black Americans are waking up. It ain't about Democrat. It's not about Republican. It's about voting your best interest. I talk to a lot of older black people, and they tell me, you know, they said integration was the worst thing that ever happened. That's funny hearing the elders say that, you know what I'm saying? Because they trusted the system. The system didn't work.
Has been shaping up heads for more than a decade. At Supreme's Barbershop in the heart of Henry County, Georgia.
It was mostly Republican, and then I think when Obama came in, it started to shift.
which swung by more than 16 points for President Biden in 2020.
I want to thank you, the people of Georgia.
And helped Democrats flip the peach state for the first time in nearly 30 years. And why did you vote for President Biden in the last
Because of who he ran with, and he was in the White House for the 8 previous years. I felt like he had the experience, but definitively right now, I couldn't tell you that if they open the polls tomorrow, I'm voting for Joe Biden.
So what changed?
Life, the inflation, and the things that we're going through right now. I want the right person, so that I'm not paying $8 for eggs, $15 for gas.
Even though things may be improving economically, but you feel there's a disconnect.
Yeah, there is a disconnect.
Politics are an ongoing debate between Azad Ahmadi, member of the Georgia Black Republicans, and his girlfriend Alexandra, a registered Democrat, who at times sit on opposite sides of the aisle. So even though you have political differences, it's not a deal breaker. No, it's not a deal breaker.
No, absolutely not.
So in 2008 and 2012, you voted for
Barack Obama.
2016,
I voted for Donald Trump.
Hillary Clinton. 2020,
Donald Trump.
Biden. And who will you vote for in 2024?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Oh, not old enough to know that yet. When I was a kid, see, we had something.
It's crazy. I'm gonna do this real short. I let the car answer speak. Yeah, and black people been loyal to the Democratic Party forever. And you've seen this election right here, which is kind of ironic when I did this because of Trump didn't get reelected yet, but he's back in. And I'm not saying Trump is no different, y'all, because at the end of the day, it's all politics. Understand this. Stop getting hyped up. Letting your blood pressure go up over these politicians because they don't give a damn about your ass, especially if you black. But the point I'm trying to make is, y'all, power respects power, and I'm gonna leave it like that because I don't have to get into that because we'll be on that all night. Let's continue.
We didn't have the resources we needed as much as we needed, but we had something. We had communities. We had communities all over America, Harlem, places like that. We had our community.
Yeah, we only hear about Black Wall Street. Sometimes you hear about Bronzeville in Chicago. I can't remember the town in North Carolina, but we don't hear about that. They were literally those communities all over the country.
That's right. Well, Sweet Home in Atlanta, Georgia, that's had all the big hotels, fine restaurants, and everything. We were looking for this social integration. You know why? Because we had our own businesses there. And I said we had a bus line. I'm not talking about 2 or 3 buses. We had over 500 buses. Wow. In Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We had that from 1927 up to about 1967. We had in Winston-Salem, we also had our own cab companies, and our own restaurants, and our own hotels. That we don't kill our buses through social integration.
So, do they control us? I'm gonna say yes. They control how we eat. They control.
Can y'all hear that? I'm gonna make sure y'all can hear that. Can y'all hear that? 1 for yes, 2 for no.
How we treat our children, how we treat our spouse, how we treat our friends, how we treat our coworkers, how we spend our money, how we vote. And this is being done through TV, through music, and through the internet. This is why I always said we need to break away from toxic traditions. Toxic traditions are the reason why they can control us. They know that we keep going back to the same regular scheduled programming, and they know exactly what they do to get into our minds.
So the question was asked, how does society control people's thoughts? And honestly, the answer is that it doesn't. Our thoughts are not external factors. Our thoughts are already internal. All society does is project the images and the sounds that line up with the thoughts we already have. So it's not so much the control, is the given into. So you're having these thoughts, this is what you feel, I'm gonna give you something to match up with that. Society gives the image, it gives the balance, if you will, it gives the sound to coordinate with the thoughts you already have based on the frequency that you're in. the thoughts that you receive are lining up with the frequency that you're on. So, long story short, society does not control it. It just gives in to where you already are. It shows you what you're already thinking. So if you don't like the images that you're seeing, if you don't like the sounds that you're receiving, you got to change your own thought.
Deep.
Okay, y'all. Agenda 2030. What is the purpose? Sustainability Developed Goals, SDGs, aim to transform our world. They are called to action to end poverty and inequality, protect the planet, and ensure that all people enjoy health, justice, and prosperity.
In 2015, Switzerland and the UN member states adopted the 2030 Agenda, which sets out the path to a sustainable development for all people, with 17 universal goals. But 2030 is tomorrow. To be able to act quickly, Switzerland has set priorities, especially in those areas where the potential for development is greatest. These form the 3 pillars of the Sustainable Development Strategy, SDS 2030. Sustainable consumption and production, climate, energy and biodiversity, equal opportunities, and social cohesion. The focus is on different fields of action. For example, securing prosperity and well-being by conserving natural resources, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and addressing the impacts of climate change, ensuring effective equality between women and men. This strategy affects both our domestic and foreign policies and relies on multiple fundamental actors: civil society, the economy, the financial market, education, research, and innovation. These actors, as well as the cantons and municipalities, play an important role alongside the federal government.
And that's, I want to say that real quick. I speak on it on the documentary, but listen, y'all keep talking about Project 2025. What have happened, y'all? We almost 6 months into the new administration, and I don't see nothing. Anyway, look up Project 2030. Klaus Schwab and the rest of the World Economic Forum pushed it together. Y'all, let me tell y'all something, man. People focus on the things they want to focus on. They don't really step outside the box and see what's really going on in this world. Do research on Vanguard, BlackRock, and all these people, y'all. Let's continue.
Interesting, y'all. The federal government, they want to do all these things for the people. I mean, the whole planet is part of the whole Agenda 2030. But let's look at some of these comments. People, see what they think. This is the first comment. My priority is to resist. That's the first comment. The other one is 2030 will be worse than 2020. Mark my words. We are going down the, excuse my language, y'all, shit drain. In others, we got some people said, you will own nothing. We'll own everything and control it all, but you'll be happy because we're doing it for you. Wow, for the common good. And the last one, y'all, we all need to stand together. Ain't no one taking away our freedom, privacy, etc. They really think that we don't see what they're really doing. Yeah, right. Let me ask y'all a question. What are y'all willing to do? If this thing pop off, what about government just want to take control over everything? Are y'all willing to give up everything, your freedom, just for the government to take care of you? Think about it. Will it be chaos in the street? Will it be anarchy? Will race even matter anymore when we get to this point? The Great Reset, y'all. The Agenda 2030. We trying to start over. But are they really trying to help the people? Are people that dumb? Are people that naive to believe the government are in their best interest? I'm just saying.
You do admit that we are a free society. Then we admit it. I insist upon it. I insist that we are a free society and that the Soviet Union is a dungeon, and therefore we have completely different methods of population control. Completely different methods. In fact, I've written a lot about this. There's no moral equivalence here. The totalitarian. I mean, there's nothing. No state is truly totalitarian. But as we move toward the totalitarian end of the spectrum, the technique of control is roughly that satirized by Orwell. You have a center of truth, a ministry of truth. It announces official truths. People can believe it or not. Nobody cares very much. It's sufficient that they obey. Totalitarian states can be more or less behavioristic. They don't really care what people think because they always have a club at hand to beat them over the head if they do the wrong thing. People to do what they want to do. As long as they can think what they like in private, but they better do what we tell them in public. That's the model towards which totalitarian states tend. As a result, the propaganda may very well be not too effective. On the other hand, the democratic state can't use those mechanisms.
Can y'all hear? 1 for yes, 2 for no, if y'all can hear it.
You can't force anybody. You can't force people. Therefore, you have to control what they think. Since power is still concentrated, but in different hands in our society, largely in private ownership, and you can't control people by force, you'd better care what they think. So that's why you have to have other forms, and in fact more sophisticated forms of indoctrination. Certain people are in a position to persuade, and the essence of democracy is that they have the freedom to persuade. Now, who has the freedom to persuade? Well, who runs the public relations industry? It's not the special interests. They're the targets of the public relations industry. Public relations industry is a major industry closely linked to other corporations. And those are the people who have the power to persuade. That's the essence of democracy.
So in closing, y'all, this is something to think about. We touched on a whole lot of different topics. I want to actually put more on this documentary, but at the same time, I want to kind of touch on the thing that was more important to me, things that I see that's going on in the world, in our society. I think people, not just a certain group of people, but everybody in the world need to really keep it, open their eyes and listen. We need to start analyzing what's really going on out here, y'all. These people have an agenda for us. And yes, they do love when we all beef with each other, have conflict. Don't get caught up in politics. Don't get caught up in social media. Don't get caught up in TV. Even the music, man. I mean, it's everywhere, y'all. They are trying to control the way we think, the way we move. The next generation is kind of scary. It's something to think about, man. Talk to your kids, man. Let them watch this. You know, read other books and stuff like that. It's a lot of good information out there to let y'all know what's really going on. Some will say I'm a conspiracy theorist. Say what you want. It seems like a lot of these conspiracies are ended up being the truth nowadays. But anyway, y'all, that being said, that's pretty much it. Y'all be careful out there, man, and just keep your eyes open. Don't get fooled. And the main thing, do not let them control you.
Yeah, the epic mini documentary, We Control You. Yeah, man, it's real. 2030 gonna happen, y'all. Get ready. The Great Reset. Look up the book on Amazon. The Great Reset is happening. The World Economic Forum. Look them up. Everybody's so focused on Trump right now, and I'm not saying he's the best guy, but listen, he's in president right now, and then when he get out, somebody's gonna be president. But don't be confused, people. But anyway, this was a good breakdown. I hope I broke it down to y'all. I haven't listened to it in a while, since I did it, and we're gonna do another one next year. Yeah, man, this is a good thing. But listen, y'all, they are listening. They control, like I said, the way we think, the way we move. Social media is a shit show. TikTok is a shit show. YouTube is a shit show. Instagram is a shit show. All of it. Appreciate it, Cat to be. All of it is a shit show, y'all. Don't get caught up in it. Oh, yeah, and I will be taking a break from social media in May. I think I will, Kathy, I will still do the radio show because that's an obligation to the team. But as far as me being on Facebook, TikTok, and all the other platforms, I'm going to be off for a whole month, y'all. Got to get off this shit because we are locked into a fantasy world. It's not real. All this gossip, all this trolling, it's killing us. It's destroying our brains as a society, y'all. We got to get off this. Look for me and Kathy and others who I would say 45 and up. We knew how it was. We grew up in a time we didn't have no social media. We didn't really have cell phones like that till later on. when life was like simple and it was bad. I love technology. Don't get it twisted. But at the same time, technology is controlling us. And that being said, do not let them control y'all. And I'm out. Peace. And make sure y'all like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure y'all share this, man. This is very important. Of course, they're messing with the algorithm because they know they don't want people to know about what's going on in the world. There's other people you can check out too, but I just decided to break it down in 24 minutes. But the next one gonna be epic. And I'm out, y'all. Peace.